Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I am photographing books from my estate sale lot. There's a lot of appearances by my cat. There are also maybe some jump cuts because I cut out me looking things up. I cut out when my cat put his butt in the camera. Cut all that out because honestly, this video was, without me cutting it out, 32 minutes. So I did cut out a lot. It's just hectic. I normally don't list while I photograph, but I do these books. I'm not listing, but I'm making listings for them. I'm finding sell similars if possible. I am creating drafts and then I'm going in and I am editing them and stuff on my computer. But because I'm doing list similar and stuff, it is taking me quite a while to find them and make the listing and stuff. I did cut that out. I am taking pictures. These book weights I got on Amazon. It was 3 for $14. They're quite nice. Do I need 3 of them? Probably not. Is it nice to have 2 of them? It is. Here comes the cat, Dylan. You can see him in an upside corner. It's tired. It's summer. Now he's sniffing the book. He's very into what I'm doing and he's very pissed off when I don't let him join me. He wants to, if I go do laundry, he wants to join me in laundry. If I go do, if I'm cooking, he's sitting on top of the garbage can, the closer he can get to the counter, but he doesn't get on the counter. We spray bottle trained him when he was very young, when he would jump on the counter. Mainly, 1, it's unsanitary. 2, I don't want him to accidentally hurt himself. Our kitchen is very small and our counter is very stove centered, or like a toaster or air fryer or something. I don't want him to jump up there and accidentally hurt himself. So we did train him as a kitten not to jump on the counter. I, in my ever wisdom of pet ownership, forgot to train him not to jump on top of the garbage can. It is a shut-in garbage can, so he's not actually sitting on garbage, but he will sit on the garbage can the closest he can get to the counter while I'm doing things and watch me and inspect me while I do them. So I guess it's not the counter. He does have full run of the house. I don't restrict him to any rooms. I don't crate him or whatever. Do people crate cats? I don't know. But even as a kitten, he had full reign of the house and we would constantly lose him because he was so tiny. He's going to be 4. He is a COVID baby. We got him during COVID. My kids did not handle the shutdown very well. Our school district stayed shut for almost 2 years. So it was all of the rest of 2020 and then all of 2021 school year. So the 2020-2021 school year and then the end of 2020 school year, they were all remote and my kids weren't handling it well. So at Thanksgiving, when they told us at the beginning of November that they were not going to go back for the end of the year, we went ahead and got a cat. I may have unilaterally decided to get a cat, but my husband does love him. When I say unilaterally, we for sure thought my husband is allergic to cats. He is allergic to cats, but he's not allergic to our cat. And I had several people that are allergic to cats say that he might not be allergic to our cat, especially if we get him as a kitten and all this stuff. He's short-haired, which also helps. He's a tux, though, and my light-colored clothes, his black hair shows up on. My dark clothes, his white hair shows up on. So I can never get away from him. For those of you that haven't been following the book lot, I bought all of the books. I bought an estate out of their books. I also inadvertently created a relationship with the estate sale person. She likes me. I'm a likable person. My husband's very charismatic and my son is a good, polite helper. Even when we were at the pool this weekend, I had a grandma compliment my children and how well behaved they were and how polite my son was. Mom mistaked and forgot to bring sunscreen and he needed to reapply his sunscreen. So he walked up to the grandma and asked her if he can please use her sunscreen. And he did it all on his own, which means he's growing up, and I was very proud of him, and he was very polite about it. She was very grandma-ish though, and started like putting the sunscreen on him, and he was very uncomfortable with that, but that's what it was. So, but going back to the lady that runs this estate sale, there are two major estate sale companies in our town. One is a man who runs it, and the other is a lady who runs it. I'm not going to shout out who they are. I don't want to like alienate them or anything. I prefer to go to the one where the lady runs it. Her prices are more reasonable, and she is more willing to negotiate, where the man is less willing to negotiate. The prices are what they are, and he prices them very high. I went into her rummage sale, or her estate sale. I saw all the like a bookcase full of these personalized recipe books. So like United Methodist Women and like Railroad Workers' Wife, stuff like that. I like them. I think they're fun. I sell most of them for around $9.99. I'm not high pricing them, or like $5. But I just saw this singular bookcase, and I offered to buy all of the books. I offered on the last day, so I let whoever wanted to buy the books buy the books. So I offered on the morning of the last day, I will buy all the books at your estate sale. How low are you willing to go? And she said 80. And I thought that was reasonable. I thought I was getting just a bookshelf full. She had other plans though. I had to go with my husband and my son, and we had to go through every single room in that house and pull out every single book that existed in that house. We had 16 tubs of books. I have gone through 4. And the 4 I've gone through have been 272 bucks. So I think I got my money's worth. I have not had to get rid of a lot of them. I have not had to redonate a lot of them. Most of them I have been able to list, which is super nice. Again, though, a grand majority are personalized books, personalized recipe books. The only issue I had with this is she used them. These are not like sit on a shelf recipe books. These have like oil stains, or the pages are tattered, or they have writing on them. Again, because she used them. She was very prolific when it came to using these books, which is great. You know, we don't buy books just to display them, right? We buy them to use them. So they are worn, and I do put that they are worn on there. But it's there's quite a lot of books. They're everywhere still in my garage. They don't take long to list per se, but they take a while to go through. For me to go through one tub takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And that's not listing, that's not doing anything else. That is just going through the books and seeing what ones I can list. I do think one of the tubs is going to go a lot faster. It's majority coloring books. So I think that will go much faster, but don't discount coloring books, especially vintage coloring books. Even if they have like 1 or 2 pages, there's my cat again. Even if they have 1 or 2 pages colored, they could still go pretty high for vintage coloring books. Sorry about the cat. He loves everybody. I think he actually knows when I'm recording, has now decided to be in everything. But this book is pretty used, pretty worn. There is some staining and stuff. It is a vintage road atlas. And the reason this one actually goes pretty well compared to other road atlases is it has like attractions and stuff. And some of these attractions obviously don't exist anymore because this is like from the 60s, I want to say. And that makes it more appealing. It's just not a road atlas, and it's more like family friendly road atlas, I guess would be the best way to say it. Like a vacation, like we're road tripping type stuff, if people still road trip, even though I think more people are road tripping than flying now, especially with prices going up. We road trip everywhere because we live in the Midwest, and what true Midwesterner flies? So, but we also haven't went anywhere far, far away. So we've been able to just drive there. And when I say far, far away, we drove 18 hours to go to Disney World. So that's pretty standard for us. But because we found several books that were were worth something and I didn't think that they would be worth something, I've started looking up every book, which again is taking longer to do. My two oldest have expressed interest in helping with eBay, so I might set them on the, hey, use the eBay image search and find this. But they can do that. My oldest just got his own personal cell phone, and he's very excited about that and they actually need to have cell phones in high school. That's how his school communicates with students with like emergency announcements and stuff. Almost every teacher takes their cell phones and puts them in the front of the room. One of the fun things that his high school does is if they have like too many detentions or something, they can turn in their cell phones for a day and have that count as as detentions. So if you don't want to serve that detention, then you can turn your cell phone in for the entire day. And their detentions are not served after school. Their detentions are served before school because they are a very extracurricular heavy high school, not just sports, but like future business leaders, band, Scholastic Bowl, all of that. They have a lot of after school extracurriculars. So if they have to serve detention, they actually have to serve it before school. And it's usually at, I want to say 6:30 in the morning they have to get there. I think that's kind of fun and cool. And it's nice for parents too, if they, have a lot of after school activities and stuff. I don't know if this book is going to do well or not. It's a Fit and Glass book, but it's pricing from 20 years ago, and it had a like insert with it. This book is really cool and has potential to be kind of expensive. It is a pop-up nativity story. It is vintage. All of the pop-ups work. All of the spinning things work. I made sure I looked at all of it. Pop-up books can be worth something, especially if they are in great shape. A lot of pop-up books are not in great shape. They are, little kids will pull on pop-ups and stuff, especially if they have like opening doors and everything. I know all the pop-up books that my kids used a lot are missing their doors or just don't pop anymore because kids love them. And I don't want to be like, kids, you can't play with your books because I need to be able to resell them. Or kids, you can't cut the tags out of your clothes because mommy's got to resell those clothes. I don't want to impede on their childhood or their comfortableness just so I can resell it later. But they are, even my youngest, who is 6, they do understand that we are buying some things to sell. We're not buying things for them. I have a cache of Monster High dolls currently in my garage, and both of my girls know that they're for reselling on eBay. And they're not technically for them. So if we do like buy some stuff, I try to sneak it in without telling them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. They unfortunately found the Monster High dolls because we were pulling stuff out for camping and we had to pull that tub out. So they found them and we had to explain. They were fine with it. They have their own dolls. They're cool with that. They don't need for dolls. So I'm not like, you don't have a doll and I'm going to sell all these dolls. That's really not my bag. I don't want to do that to them. But they have more than enough toys to occupy them. Also look for very specific books. When I do my listing video of these, there are like an Oster. It's a brand cookbook that goes pretty far. This is a Splenda one. There is Jello too, like very specific books that you think may not be worth something. They might have some value because of their specificity. But again, I'm finding books that are worth something that I didn't think would be worth something, so I'm going and looking through all of them, which is taking such a long time to do, where it might not take as long of a time if I just went through and looked at all of them and been like, oh, okay. I will say, out of the 272 books that I have physically touched, I've only had to throw 2 away, and that's because they were missing large quantity of pages because the binding was dead and they were just falling out. This book is also rough, and I'm pretty sure I already sold it. The ones I think are gonna sell don't sell, and the ones I don't think are gonna sell sell. And that is how it is. I just bought vacuum bags on Amazon, vacuum storage bags, and we had listed a bunch of plush. So I bought the vacuum storage bags, and I just vacuum stored all the plush we'd listed, and I sold one. So I vacuum stored it yesterday, and I sold one this morning. And I knew that's how it is. That is the urban myth of eBay. You touch it, it sells. So I was like, as soon as I vacuum pack all of these, it's gonna sell. And it did, which is fine. I'll just have to re-vacuum it closed. But vacuum packs aren't forever either. We all know they do collect air. But even if they collect air, it is still more sanitary than just putting it in a garbage bag. Thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe and have a productive day.